Another week of NFL action ahead of us. And man, oh man, is it going down this week. Let's get into it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meet on the 50. You know what time it is. It is time for our weekly picks where we're breaking down the action ahead of us, and it is going down this week. There is only two teams on bye. So without further ado, let's start the show. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Meet on the 50. I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys, and I am here with you to break down the NFL action ahead of us, which is NFL week number 14. 4 more weeks left of NFL action. 1 more week left, maybe, of NFL regular season action in your fantasy playoffs. Yes, fantasy playoffs are upon us for some of you. This is the last week for regular season. This is the last week where you may be able to just sneak in to your fantasy playoffs. Good luck. We'll see what happens. We got some action to determine that outcome. And man, oh man, we only got 4 weeks left of regular NFL action before the playoffs are upon us. This season is just rolling along. And as always, joining me to break down the action, to predict the action, to see what is about to happen, give his thoughts on what we think. He is none other than the other half of the Sports Guys. He is Mr. Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how are you doing, my friend?
Excited for another week, my friend.
It is going down. Yeah, it's going down. I mean, big week for you last week. Big week for you this week. And it's only gonna intensify as the season rolls on. Speaking of the season rolling on, let's see how the season rolled on last week for us. Let's put up how we did last week up on the board. Boom, for yourself, 9-4, 1-0 on the guaranteed victories. Cowboys coming in clutch for you against the Seahawks, not only beating the Sea Chickens, but also solidifying that guaranteed victory for you. For myself, 10-3, 1-0 on the guaranteed victories. Just basically thinking that the Niners are going to beat the dog crap out of the Eagles, and that is exactly what they did. Overall for the season, that puts us at, for yourself, 126-67, dominating the season. 11-2 on your guaranteed victories. For myself, 114-79, 10-3 on my guaranteed victories. And then for our special guest, 52-38, 3-3 on their guaranteed victories. Nice and easy. Let's wipe those off the screen, because it is time to move on to NFL Week 14, and it is time for another round of rapid fire picks. Yes, rapid fire picks. If you don't know, some of these games just honestly don't really matter. No matter what the outcome is, it is not going to change the overall trajectory of some of these teams. So we don't need to spend a lot of time on there. So we're just going to lump them all together in our rapid fire round, where we can just get through them nice and easy and then focus on the games that actually matter. Brandon, you ready to go?
Sir.
Let's do it. Let's kick off our rapid fire round. And what better way to kick off our rapid fire round than possibly the worst game on the NFL schedule to date that is ever going to take place. So kicking us off this week on Thursday, get ready to watch the New England Patriots, 2-10, travel to Pittsburgh to take on the 7-5 Pittsburgh Steelers. But oh wait, that's not the matchup. We got Bailey Zappi versus Mitchell Trubisky. Brandon, what do you got for me?
Yeah, relatively low scoring game, lots of field goals. I got Pittsburgh winning 16-10.
I like it. Yeah, I'm going the other way. I'm going Patriots somehow, some way get the job done. 14-12. Patriots get the job done there on the road. Moving on to our Sunday morning rapid fire games. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sitting at 5-7, traveling to Atlanta to take on the 6-6 Atlanta Falcons. Divisional battle. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I got Atlanta winning this game 20-16.
I like it. I'm going to go with my classic score, Atlanta 24-17, getting the job done there at home. Moving on to our next game, we got the Detroit Lions traveling the 9-3 Detroit Lions. Yeah, You heard that correctly. Traveling to Chicago to take on the 4-8 Chicago Bears. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I gotta roll with Detroit on this one. I think Detroit or Chicago had a pretty good game, but I gotta favor Detroit. I think that they're just a little bit better. But I expect it to be a relatively close game. I'm gonna steal your score on this one, 24-17, Detroit.
Yeah, I like the Detroit Lions. The Chicago Bears definitely playing a lot better now that Justin Fields has returned. But of course, I'm going with the Detroit rolling Motor City Lions, moving to 10-3. Yes, I said it. The Detroit Lions 10-3, 28-17, getting the job done there on the road. Moving on, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, the 8-4. We'll see how long that lasts. We got CJ Beathard led Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the Joe Flacco led Cleveland Browns, who sit at 7-5. CJ Beathard versus Joe Flacco. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll with the home team here. Just I've seen enough of CJ Beathard that I can't get on board with that on him winning a road game, and he did look really bad coming into that game. So, I definitely think that the Browns are going to win this game. I think it's another low-scoring game. I think the Browns win this one, 17-14.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you. I think Joe Flacco does get the job done. Unfortunately, CJ Beathard is just not the guy. So Joe Flacco getting the job done there for the Cleveland Browns, 20-10. Cleveland Browns getting the job done there at home. Moving on to our next game, we got the Carolina Dumpster Fire Panthers traveling to Bourbon Street to take on the New Orleans Saints. Panthers 1-11, Saints 5-7. What do you got for me?
Got to go with the Saints at home here. You can't trust the Panthers at this point. Honestly, there could be a surprise here. I mean, the Panthers could. This is one of those games where I feel like they could potentially pull one out, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Panthers won, just because the Saints are not playing well at all. Gotta roll with the Saints though. I do think the Saints get the job done here, 21-13.
I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna be same line of thinking. I'm going Saints getting the job done there at home, 32-23 against the Carolina Panthers. Moving on to our final rapid fire game of the morning. We got the Houston Texans sitting at 7-5, traveling to New Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Jets, who sit at 4-8. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I got the Texans winning this one, 27-10.
I can't believe I'm about to do what I am about to do, because I never thought that I would ever be here in my life as a football fan, but I got a guaranteed victory, baby, that the Houston Texans dominate the New York Jets, even without Tank Dell. We're going 35-14, absolutely demolishing the New York Jets there in a guaranteed victory. Cannot believe I am putting a guaranteed victory on the former Houston Dumpster Fire Texans. No longer that though. And then moving on to our afternoon rapid fire games, we got the Minnesota Vikings sitting at 6-6, traveling to Sin City of Las Vegas to take on the Raiders, sitting at 5-7. What do you got for me?
Oh, this one's so close. I feel like it's the flip of a coin. I'm just gonna go just simply because they're the home team. I'm gonna pick the Raiders here. I think it's gonna be a close game. I got the Raiders winning this one 27-24. I think it'll be a close game. If it was in Minnesota, I would go for the Vikings. I just think home field these two teams are pretty equal. They're both kind of middle tier, 6-6 teams, basically. I think it could go either way. I think it's actually gonna be a good game, but I gotta go.
I like it. Yeah, I'm going to go right with you. I'm going with the Raiders 23-20, getting the job done there at home, winning by a field goal. And yeah, Raiders moving to 6-7, just tickling their fans with their playoffs hopes. Well, we'll see what happens. I think 10-7 is going to be, or is it 11-7 now? 11-7, 10-7, whatever record it is. One of those records I think is going to be the record to get into the playoffs. Moving on to our final rapid fire game of the afternoon, we have the Denver Broncos sitting at 6-6, traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego, sitting at 5-7. What do you got for me?
Yeah, Something tells me that I just think the Broncos are going to win this game. I just didn't like what I saw out of the Chargers the last game. I mean, they could potentially win. Brandon Staley as a head coach, it's just not a good recipe for me. So it's honestly better if the Chargers start losing so that they can get rid of that coach.
Definitely.
So, honestly, I do think Broncos win this one. I think they'll win this one 20-17.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the Broncos are the better team. I think they're the hotter team coming in. I know they lost last week, but technically they would be 5-1 in their last 6 games. So the Broncos getting the job done when they need to get the job done, and I think that's exactly what they do against the Chargers to get themselves, just to keep themselves right in that playoff hunt. So the the Broncos get the job done 28-21 there on the road. And then moving on to Monday. Yes, Monday we got 1 and 2. Yes, we got 2 Monday night games this week. Our first Monday night game, we got the Tennessee Titans sitting at 4-8, traveling to Sunshine State of Florida to South Beach to take on the 9-3 Miami Dolphins. What do you got for us?
Got a guaranteed victory for you. I think the Dolphins come out and spank that behind. I got the Dolphins winning this one 42-17.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, Dolphins are just the most probably electrifying team currently right now in terms of offense. What they have, those weapons. Tyreek Hill, basically, you can throw him the ball anywhere on the field and he can take it to the end zone. So Dolphins getting the job done there at home on Monday night. Yeah, just like you, I'm going 35-24. I think it's going to be a closer in terms of close-looking scoring game, but in terms of competition, it's going to be a blowout. So Dolphins get the job done 35-24 there at home. And then our last rapid fire game, our last game on Monday, we got the Green Bay Packers, who are on fire right now, traveling to New Rutherford, New Jersey, to take on the New York Giants. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I got to roll with Green Bay. I mean, after they beat the Chiefs last week, I just think that they are a better team than the Giants. So I'm going to go with Green Bay in this one. I do think Green Bay sneaks this one out 28-17.
You're not feeling Tommy DeVito, huh? Tommy DeVito for all the Italian Americans out there. Unfortunately, Jordan Love definitely has turned his performance around the last 4 games. Now winning those last 4 games, getting the Packers right back into the playoff hunt. Dark horse now in for that playoff hunt. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, the way that the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love are playing at this current moment, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers getting the job done there on the road, 29-19. Yes, very weird score, but we're going 29-19. Packers get the job done there on the road. Boom, done with the rapid fire round. There we go. We're on to the games that matter. And the first game that it somewhat matters at this point, we're going back to Sunday morning, and that would be the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Colts 7-5, Bengals 6-6. Playoff implications are on the horizon for both of these teams, and this game has plenty of playoff implications. Or playoff appearances are on the horizons, I should say. So we'll see what happens there for both these teams. But Colts, Bengals, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Bengals here. Browning has proven that he is a solid backup quarterback and, could potentially be a starter in this league. It could be a good trading asset, because, once Joe comes back, you could potentially get a lot for, I think a lot of teams would like to have a Jake Browning, and he can keep playing the way that he did, and he looks like he's got it. So I'm going to roll with Cincinnati. I'm confident they're at home. So I think they win this one in a close one, but I'm picking Cincinnati to win this one, 28-24.
I like it. Yeah, the Bengals, I mean, surprising everybody last week. Jake Browning surprising everybody last week, getting that one game under his belt, taking a second, taking a breath, and then boom, coming out and just being electric. So Bengals, very intense game this week, taking on the Indianapolis Colts, who are surprising a lot of people this year. I'm sure a lot of people did not think that they were going to be 7-5 right there in the playoffs. They are currently in the playoffs. So yeah, right there in the playoffs. So Bengals outside looking in, Colts inside looking out. we'll see what happens. Are things going to change this week? Lot on the line, but Bengals get the job done. I'm sorry. I went against you for the first time since the first week that we did this. Won't happen again. Pretty sure it was against the Jaguars. Again, I'd have to look back in history, but I'm pretty sure the first game was the Bengals-Jags, and I picked the Jags, and the Bengals ended up winning. So there you go. Go figure. We'll see what happens. Or maybe it was the Chargers. Who knows? But anyways, Bengals get the job done there at home. Moving on to our next game. We got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Baltimore, Maryland to take on the Baltimore Ravens. What do you got for me?
I think this could potentially be a pretty good game, but I do think Baltimore is able to sneak this one out 34-30. I think that a pretty close game, but I just think Baltimore plays really, really well at home, and I just think that they're the better team.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the Rams. Yeah, I think the Rams march into Baltimore and get the job done. Matt Stafford being back, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Williams, the running back, coming on the scene. So they got a lot of pieces. The defense is playing okay, holding the leads, able to hold the leads and everything like that. So the Rams playing good football coming down the stretch. The Baltimore Ravens are playing for that number 1 seed. We'll see what the Baltimore Ravens team that we get, but I do think that the Rams go into Baltimore and they're able to get the job done 28-24 and stun the Baltimore Ravens and their fans there on the road. Moving on to our afternoon games. We've got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Santa Clara, to Levi's Stadium, to, again, most likely, get their butt whooped. Taking on Seattle Seahawks traveling to Levi's Stadium to take on the San Francisco 49ers. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I got the 49ers winning this one. I think it's a little bit closer than Seattle, the one that was in Seattle. I just think that obviously Seattle's going to make some adjustments here. I don't think it's going to be enough. I got the Niners winning this one 34-21.
Yeah, I think the Niners are just going to come home. And a lot of people would say, oh, this is a trap game, right? They perform so well against the Eagles. This is a trap game coming all the way back to the West Coast. Yeah, not for this Niner team. This is definitely not a trap game. San Francisco 49ers dominate, handle business against the Seahawks yet again, 2 times in 2 weeks, basically, 2.5 weeks, I guess you could say. Yeah, Niners, man. Best team in football. Niners get the job done there at home, 35-17, handling business against the Seattle Seahawks. Our next game, we got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you got for me? Bills 6-6, Chiefs 8-4. What do you got for me on that one?
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills, they had a really competitive game against Philly. That was just back and forth. They should have won that game. And then Kansas City, they're kind of both on similar pathways right now. I mean, the Bills just such choke artists, man. They just can't maintain leads. They can't finish games at the end. Josh Allen 0-6 in overtime. Just, I don't know, just not clutch. The Bills are not only are they consistently inconsistent, they're also consistently not clutch. So got to roll with Kansas City at Arrowhead. I just think that Kansas City, I can't see them losing 3 in a row. I just think that they're just going to bounce back and they're going to handle the Buffalo Bills. I think they win that game 35-24.
Yeah, this is a big game right here. This game has massive playoff implications. Are the Bills basically out of this year's playoff hunt? Or are the Chiefs guaranteed basically not our number 1 seed in the AFC? And I like to think the latter. So I'm going, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills march in to Kansas City and they avenge that devastating loss 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, however long, 2 years ago at this point. Avenge that loss 2 years ago. And the Bills get the job done 35-32 there on the road. And our last game, our Sunday night game, we got a good one. We got a divisional top seeded divisional battle right here. We got the Philadelphia Eagles sitting at 10-2, traveling to Arlington to take on the Dallas Cowboys. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this is going to be definitely the game of the week. Just Dallas hasn't lost at home in such a long time. Philly coming off of that loss. Just a big, just a big loss against the 49ers. No one really expected that, So I don't know if your boy Dom DeSandro is going to be there. I'm not sure. One of your favorite, Philadelphia Eagle affiliates of all time, Dom DeSandro. I think it's Dominic DeSandro, but he's been a chief security officer for the Eagles for 25 years. I mean, he's got that wristband. He said they're going to get everybody back, so we'll have to see if he's there. I think that's going to be a big point, but I think your Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game. I do. I really do, Nick. I think that they're going to bounce back, and they're going to try to hold on to that number 1 seed, and I think that this is the way they do it. I think they win this one pretty handedly. I got them winning this one 38-27.
Wow. Okay. I like it. Yes, it definitely should be the game of the week. I definitely expect it to be competitive, but I have it going the other way, my friend. I have your Dallas Cowboys being at home for the 17th or for the 14th straight time that we have seen them play. We have the Dallas Cowboys handling business, stealing that number 1 seed in the NFC East from the Philadelphia Eagles. I predicted that the Eagles would drop back-to-back games. Bills, Niners. I may have been a little off. It's probably going to go Niners, Cowboys. Let's just flip it. Yeah, Cowboys getting the job done against the Eagles. They're at home. Massive victory, 35-23. Yeah, exact same score I predicted last week. 35-23. Cowboys getting the job done there at home. That's going to do it. Boom. Done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The only two teams that are on bye this week, the Cardinals and the Commanders. Who gives a crap? So we are all done with our weekly picks. That simple. Brandon, any last words for the people?
Hoping we both have a good week again. Just like I said, it's going to be an entertaining week of football. I'm actually super stoked for this week of football. There's going to be good games in the morning, good games in the afternoon, and good games in the evening. So just super excited for Sunday.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, yeah, it's going down. It is going down. Both of our teams having crucial matchups this week. You a divisional matchup, me a playoff implicated matchup. So we shall definitely see what happens. And I believe if the Niners win this week, I'm pretty sure that's going to lock up the NFC West as well. I don't think 10-3.
Well, essentially, technically, it would, but
would
essentially.
Not yet, not on the board, but technically it would. Yeah, because they've beaten every team, right? It would be the 2-0 against the Seahawks.
If they win this game, they would be 10-3. The Rams only have 6 losses. So what that means is if the Rams went out and we lose out, so technically,
yeah.
Don't have it, but in
one more week.
But us saying, yeah, if they win this week and next week, then we have it locked.
Yeah. All right, it's coming down to a wire. The season is wrapping up here very quickly, and man, oh man, the playoff hunt is getting ever increasingly more intense. That's going to do it for this edition of Meet on the 50. I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys. He is Brandon Sullivan, the other half of the Sports Guys, and together we make up the Sports Guys. And until our review episode, Brandon and Jake, we're out.